Pledge allegiance to the moment of silence, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball.
Okay, item C, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as slated?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
I will second. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item 2A, administrator reports. I see one administrator that's got a smile ready to go.
Come on.
All right, so at Morocco, we've just been busy getting the year started. We started with NWA testing this week, so we are finishing that, so then we can use that data for our Title I and to get our MTSS rolling during our win time. So we were looking forward to that. Title I is working on helping our K through 2 with their ESGI testing and dyslexia testing. So those young kiddos get a lot of testing at the beginning of the year, and it takes a lot of time. So all hands on deck for that. We're just looking forward to moving through September and October. We have lots of fun things coming up. October is anti-bullying month. It's also Red Ribbon Week. We were able to secure Matt Wilhelm to come and be a motivational speaker. He was here a few years ago. He's a BMX rider that does an anti-bullying campaign. So he's going to come and talk to us the middle of October. So that was exciting that he had some dates open during anti-bullying month. So we're just off to a good start.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Rager, would you have anything?
I do. I want to report that we have now submitted our Form 9 and it has been approved. It was a little late, but not as late as the last one.
Sorry.
Hey, manage expectations.
I know. Mrs. Hines is happy. She's like, yes.
Yeah. But main reason for the lateness was just working from the old financial software where we ended and the new financial software building out. But we're on track now for next Form 9 due in January for December, be done prior to deadline, as well as then this week we are closing out the AFR annual financial report, which is due at the end of August for the Indiana fiscal year, which is July to June. And remember, we're on a fiscal year from January to December. So that's also something we have to get done. And just, again, school year has started very smoothly. And we're getting things taken care of. Had a good meeting with the board finance committee just prior to this meeting, going over the budget for next year, which we'll have at the next meeting for approval. We're going to advertise the budget on Friday. So we'll have it out. That is all.
Great. Mr. Mark?
Going off of what Mike said about the budget finance committee, we just finished that up. Our numbers look great. We're going to have a cash balance again. Obviously, we're going to publish that stuff at our September 10th meeting. But just for our transparency with our new firm, Cinder Dalton, which I think are fabulous folks. Mike's and Patty and Missy's work has gotten us a long way where we were previously. We're actually working on doing budgets this year, which is very interesting in the concept of previously the numbers were just one line item for everything. So you didn't have anything broken down. Nobody knew. You just had a line item in it at the state level that said you were going to expend $9.2 million. It didn't have it broken down to what you were spending that on. And as another elected official up here who understands budgets, that's just crazy. So I'm very excited about that. To be full transparency, though, these numbers were reverse engineering and trying to put together our budgets. They're not going to be to what our satisfaction is, but we are very grateful that we're getting to the point where we are. And we're going to have some much more detailed budgetary numbers. And hopefully by next year, it'll be even better. So the numbers look good, carrying a good surplus of balance, in my opinion, and things are moving in the right positive direction. So it's very refreshing as a elected official sitting up here with my colleagues and our superintendent and our administrators to finally realize that the doomsday that we were preached from the day that I took office and prior to that is not what it actually is. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful to see those numbers. So with that, that's the projections, and we'll keep working on that. Second thing I had is just a question for you, Mike, on the fire department request. Have you had a chance to, so I want to make sure the public's aware, we're going to have our fire departments coming around and doing inspections of our schools. And I know you're working on it. I just want to know where that stood and for everybody else to know about that.
I'm in the process of reaching out to
Okay,
them in the different departments, but yeah.
perfect. Excellent. I think that's it. Thank you.
Do we have another update for superintendent
Yes.
search?
Brief superintendent search
Other
update.
than the guys on vacation, country.
Yeah, Steve Horton's gonna be gone for the next 2 weeks. So we'll be working with Dr. Kent DeKonig, who helped us last time. Awesome guy. But as far as superintendent search goes, the link is posted on our website. It is also listed on ISBA. It is up. I checked in with Steve Horton late last week, and then he went ahead and emailed all of us. We have already had 2 applicants be submitted. And the whole window is open until the end of September. So we've still got a whole month of waiting time before more applicants start filling in. And usually it's like a rush the week before it all closes. So the fact that we've already got 2 people that have applied for superintendency is pretty awesome, I think. But again, timeline wise, we're looking at September 28th is when we're going to close it. The next day is when we as a board will get access to our Revlist account and be able to see all of the applicants. We will be meeting with either Steve Horton or Dr. Kent. I think it's the first week of October to just go through, and then ISBA, they line up the interviews for us. They are the middleman. So we will do first rounds, and then once we go through and do our first rounds and pick out who we would like to invite back for a second round interview, all of the candidates that are going to be asked to come back for a second round, they will be going underneath. They will be asked to take kind of like a, I don't want to say like a quiz, but it's a leadership assessment.
Yeah.
I think it's $185 a pop. We've already been able to see the sample of it, and it gets down into some pretty good details that you can pull from different candidates just based off of the questions and all the information that you get from it. So we will be receiving that. And again, second round interviews, which we're all still kind of trying to figure out how to go about it, because again, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So we're going to do something different as far as second round. We're going to have our administration and our central office staff involved in the second round, as far as they will be in like the first portion of the interview, and then they will move back over to the board, and then we will be able to get our principals' feedback and central office staff's feedback of the candidates that we have chosen for second round. And it'll be in a non-biased way, because I don't want to know what Marisa thinks of every single candidate. I want it to be non-biased. So we'll get all that information and then again make our decision and hopefully have a new superintendent announced by Thanksgiving is the goal. So
One thing I want to add on that, just because it ties to the financial, and I respect ISBA for that, is that part of our agreement when you all went through this process a year ago, you paid I don't know what the sum was, but you paid a fee. And because the superintendent had not worked out within that calendar year, we are not paying another fee. So
we're not.
It's a good thing. And
Yep.
I really respect that they honor that system. So.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Anybody have anything else? Ed? Nope. Okay. We do not have any recognition tonight. So moving on to item 4, which are non-action items. A, the Unified Handbook.
And this is just something we've left on. We're going to leave it on every meeting agenda per the board's request. As we work through policies, we're working on updating the handbook as well. But we have begun working on job descriptions, because that was something we said we would put in for every job. And that's something we could do outside of waiting for policies to be updated. So what you can expect in the back, it's similar to what we have right now in our non-certified handbook, is position by position, number of days, what benefits they receive, you know, and what their calendar looks like, any other information, as well as a brief job description.
Okay, so that just gets updated as we go through our policies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Should
Yeah.
have one maybe by,
Second semester, because
Okay.
we estimate we'll be through the policies by that time. You know, we don't have to wait until all the policies are done, but we won't have a finished handbook to bring in front of you until then.
item B, school board elections process, SB policy 0142. I believe, Mr. Mark, you have some information on that you'd like
I
to share?
do. Speaking to the county clerk, obviously from my previous ties, the confusion at the county level, which I had not known at the time, the individual school boards vote on, unless you were created before 1965, I think it was, stated 57 or whatever it was. There are 6 elections processes for how you elect your individual school board members. And when we were doing our historical review, the clerk and I, it had flip-flopped specifically for North Newton and somewhat for South Newton. And they even had an issue last election cycle for South Newton where they had to do a special election because they didn't do it the correct way. So it is a board decision. What she would like from us, because Sam had sent me some stuff about it, it didn't really break it down in detail like this does, of our school board policy 0142. And I'm assuming that's the correct policy because I got it from Sam and she's always good on the policy numbers. So I apologize if it's not. So the options in this, I just wanted to bring it up for us because we need to vote on this and we need to probably do it in the next meeting or two so that we can submit that back to the county clerk. So that in our next election cycle in 2026, they'll be able to do the correct process. One is the pure at large, where all candidates are just at large and can live anywhere, and then all 6 townships vote for it. What South Newton does and what we historically have done is you have 1 at large and all 6 townships vote for it. And then if you have 6 townships, you have to, the individual has to live in that township and then all 6 townships vote for them. Then there's the other option, at large, 3 population residency districts. So you can have breakdown of population with 3 districts and sub-districts roughly equaling the population and residency mandate. So there's a formula for that. And then you have the mixed sub-district and at large. My recommendation, and I think what you guys have traditionally done, would be option 2, which is the at large with voting with residency restrictions. The district is divided into 2 or more residency area. Specific many members, well, where is it? Keynotes.
That some or all board members must live in a specific
Correct.
sub-district, but there can also be an at-large seat with no residency rules,
Correct.
which is currently how we operate. We have 6 board members that reside within their current districts,
Turn your speaker off.
or within their residence, they live within that certain township, and then we have 1 at-large that can be from any one of the townships.
So it would be a resolution of sorts from us, and we can put together what we want and vote on at one of our meetings and then send this to the county clerk. So then from here on out, we make sure that our
Just not charged, or
election process is
Being
by the
county
book.
office?
So
So we do that, does it stay that way?
until any board can change it.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was like every
Yeah, any board can change
years
now.
or.
He just wants us to clarify because of the boards are getting more interesting in elections. So she wanted to make sure that that was correctly done. I agreed 100% with her as a party chairman, and I agree with her now as just a regular person. So we need to make sure we have it in black and white how the school board wants to have our election cycle. So
I've got a question when it comes down to this, and maybe we all need to figure out how this all goes, because with the new law that has changed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but school board members now in the next upcoming election, they have to affiliate themselves with a party, correct?
I remember that fast, but I don't remember, and I know that ISBA was going to send us some type of guidance on that. I have not seen that
Okay.
yet. But from what I understood in the brief reading that I did, the state legislature passed that school board members need to identify as independent, Republican, Democrats, whatever their party affiliation. My question, if you did that, does that mean there's a primary?
Right.
Because then if you identify, then there would be a primary, and then that would take effect in May instead of generally elections for school board members are in November. There's no party affiliation, and you have until sometime in June or May to file. But in the regular elections, you have to file early because they're May, the second Tuesday of the month of May is elections for primaries. So yes, I don't know the answer to that, and I will try to find out from the clerk
Okay.
if that's been changed. I have not seen anything from ISBA yet, but it's definitely going to affect our next election.
Because I think it opens, if I remember correctly, it opens May 21st and goes through June 21st to be able to go around, get your signatures, to put yourself on the ballot.
If it's, yeah, they
And
moved
then-
the date
Yes.
to earlier.
It's a, yeah. And then it would go from that, that's to be put on the November ballot. But like you said, with now the party affiliation, does that bump it back? There hasn't been much.
That's
Shockingly,
something they'll talk about with our fall conference.
I hope so.
Anyway,
I hope so. Maybe. Yes, you don't.
So that means if they're doing a CAM but don't have to, they're not going to have primaries.
No. Okay, so then we'll just follow the same rules as far as,
And until the state or the county comes and tells us election wise that we got to have a primary election, I guess we just keep going based on what. But for us, we need to fix this
okay,
so that we can make sure she has what she wants for that.
okay.
I just wanted to put it in the non-action item so everybody
do you
can
have anything?
look into it and do the research and come back in the next meeting and figure out what we're gonna do.
But for this would mean that like, so I'm Lake Township. So that would mean that if I file, it's not just Lake Township that's voting.
Correct.
It's all of
six
the
townships.
6 townships. Okay,
That's what happened South Newton. Not everybody got it to
Correct.
vote. That's why they had to have that special.
okay, okay. Okay,
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Item C, creating a school IT committee.
Mike, you want to talk about that one and I can elaborate, or you want me to start? So Mike and I were discussing just IT stuff, and his idea, which I think was a great idea, and I actually probably helped, is getting our administrators involved in understanding. This is stuff, Mike's specialty, I think, for us is helping us set up things for the future when he's not here, like this budget and everything else. So his idea was we should create an IT committee that allows us to have a couple board members on it, but really bring in the administrators, and the superintendent obviously is with us. He's our direct person, and being able to start discussing IT needs, questions, things that the public has, better understanding for the community. Know what our expectations are.
But we don't realize that maybe it doesn't integrate with what we have. It might put our student data at risk where, we can really start a regular cadence of communication as well as looking downfield on how well is this working, that we're with what we have, or if we're going to roll out, hypothetically, if we're going to roll out iPads in the fall, what are all the things we need to think about around that, and not just rely on Greg and Terry to come up with what they think we might need. But I think we need to help them with that input from.
And to be clear, for what Mike's saying, what I'm saying is it's not, we're having this meeting and we're going to discuss with the IT what they're going to do. No, they're, in my profession, having the IT in these meetings, actually probably running the meeting in conversational pieces, is an educational, it benefits the IT company and the personnel because then they can have direct conversations with the administration. They can have long-term plans. We can discuss things and figure out what we want or don't want. It's just the same as us having the maintenance or the building stuff. It's the same as us having financial. IT is such a critical part in any corporation nowadays.
Especially now.
His idea was let's bring a committee in for this because it's just as important as finances and maintenance and all the other building stuff, capital outlay. So I was like, yeah, I agree 100%. So, you know, whether we do that now or we do it in January when we create our committees, whatever, it's just, I wanted to bring up a non-action item for people to think about.
It would be something like to start because we tend to have a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking around things, and this way we can get in front of it, you know. So, and get everybody, you know, really be cross-functional around it. That's a goal of everything is, you know, trying, and, you know, as I've said this before, in a district the size of North Newton, your principals are part of your leadership team. Your teachers are part of your leadership team, and making sure that we're getting all the voices around things and not putting anybody out on an island and trying to figure out stuff by themselves.
And what I respect about Mike's recommendation in this process is that he understands the big picture that we're trying to accomplish and that we're not relying upon somebody sitting in his seat by himself, figuring out everything that everybody's doing, instead of getting the elected officials and the administrators involved in trying to operate and function this community, in the school district, which I'm very grateful for, because by doing that, by bringing the maintenance, the finance, the other committees and putting us involved and getting us connected to our direct department heads and administrators just makes the collaboration better, more intuitive, stronger. I love the idea. So
Additionally, it helps with continuity then too. If anybody drops off, somebody else remembers.
yeah. But then you're sitting there across your IT guys and they're telling you, yeah, you want that software, but you can't get it, and here's why. It's better coming from the group's organization talking ideas and stuff than it is we go show up at a meeting and we get one way or the other and we don't know.
So go ahead.
Same line, something I realized I forgot to say in administrative reports. I want to say how well our principals work together and how receptive to working together they've been, because we found lots of one-offs that they had inherited, and they've really done a great job working together. And that got me thinking, you know, where else can we get those synergies together? And again, with the principals working together the way they are, if there would be turnover, it's a whole lot easier than for somebody to come in and be integrated and, you know, have that support system.
This is something that we would do in January.
We can do it in January, we can do it whatever.
Let's start sooner, you know, and then again, we just couldn't have 4 board members show up if they wanted to. We need less.
Be 3 board members and all the administrators. And,
yeah.
Oh, and I nominate you.
The least techie one.
So you and John on.
No, I'm second for him.
So
That's, yeah,
we can just bring it on our agenda for next
Yeah,
month and
let's
figure out something.
figure something out and we can vote on it next month if you want. Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. And 5, consent agenda. A, executive session board meeting minutes of August 13th, 2025. Item B, the regular board meeting minutes of August 13th, 2025. C, donations. D, ECA purchase request. E, facility use request, Newton County Soil and Water Conservation District, retroactive. Item F, facility use request for Warriors 13U baseball. Item G, facility use request, Phoenix. Okay, that's what I thought. Martial arts. Item H, field trip request. I, financial claim and reports. And J, out of district transfer students.
I would like to vote on these individually. I have a couple questions about specific ones. My motion is to approve the executive regular meeting minutes and the donations as submitted.
So are
So
you,
item A, B, and C is
Yep.
what you would like to make a motion to approve right away of the consent agenda?
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So your motion is to vote on A, B, and C.
And then
Okay.
if we could read the donations off, because I like to honor the people that donated to us.
And then you'd
Um,
like to do D through J individually.
Correct.
Okay, so your motion is to vote on A, B, and C together as one, and items D through J individually, correct?
Correct.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
I'll second.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we have a motion and a second to vote on items A through C as one and items D through J individually. And we've had our discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
If I have a moment here, Tyson, I would like to read off the donations, or if you could.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
Yeah,
got
go
it.
ahead. You have a better
For
voice than us. anyway.
Donations, we've got Jeff and Virginia Galvan for varsity football. The donation is going towards the general needs of the program. We've got a check for $50. It's marked for the ECA accounts. We've got Market 48, donation of 7 Spartan logo hats. The donation amount $100. Kelly Schaffel, I'm sorry if I butchered that one. For varsity cheer, donation towards the general needs of the program, we received a check for $31.58. August Pope, varsity cheer, donation towards the general needs of the program, we received a check for $50. A Blend Above LLC, again, varsity cheer, donation towards the general needs of the program, and we got a check received for $69. And then William DeJong, a varsity cheer, donation towards the general needs program, a check for $350 for a total of $650.58 in donations this time around.
Thank you.
So next up is item D.
I make a motion to approve the ECA purchase request for,
You accept A, B, and C for.
did we already do that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We
we
didn't
did.
raise.
I thought we
Okay.
did.
No, we didn't.
Oh no, did we vote? I don't know if we voted.
I don't think we voted.
No, you're right.
Okay. We're good. Might as well vote again.
Okay, so
We had a motion and a second.
motion and second
Yep.
for items A, B, and C. We've read the donations, so that was part of our discussion.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor in passing those, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to the individual ones. Item D, ECA purchase request. Do I have motion and second to approve the ECA purchase request?
Motion to approve.
I will second. Okay. Any discussion on the ECA purchase request?
I do have a question on this. On the, Mike, how does, or Patty or Missy, so we just put money in for donations for the ECA. These are just monies going out for purchases for our ECAs. Is that right? These are, I mean, I'm assuming who's making the decision that volleyball is buying $459 of whatever that is, and athletics is buying 650. Is that our? Yeah. So our athletic director or our coaches are deciding that. Okay. So that claim would come from them to us. Okay. That's all.
Anybody else? All right, motion and second to approve. Discussion, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item E, the facility use request for the Newton County Soil Water Conservation District, which has already happened, right? Yeah. Today.
Make a motion to approve the facility request for the soil water sewer district.
I will second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item E, item F, the facility use request for the Warriors 13U baseball. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the
I would actually
use request?
table this until we have more clarity. My question, and I don't know if Mike has the answer to this point, probably not. But this 13U baseball, is this, are you getting to it? Being that I done a lot of youth sports, I know how that stuff works.
That's
You
the
want to
next
look
one.
at mine? There you go. Look at that one.
So this is for a Warriors 13U baseball. So my questions, being that I've done a lot of this stuff in other lifestyle or previous lives, do we, because I'm all supporting these curricular sports using our facilities, but do we have proof of insurance? Do we have proof of the season? What are they using it for? All that type of stuff lined out before we approve this. I would like to make sure that because like Pop Warner, Little League, if a kid got injured on a football game at our field, the school wasn't paying for it. Pop Warner had to have their own insurance.
Would ask for approval pending proof of insurance, if that's possible.
And scheduling, because I don't want
Well,
to
I don't want it to
conflict.
interfere with our kids.
It's signed off by St. Zachary, so it's not going to interfere with our.
Practices or games.
Yeah, I mean, so on the baseball's a spring sport. I mean, they might be doing some fall stuff, but yes.
Okay.
So with that, I would make a motion to approve pending proof of insurance for the entire season, and also verification that it doesn't conflict with our current athletic programs. Other than that, I personally am fine with that. That'd be my motion.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Yep, you're good.
John?
And you'll get that information for us?
Sir,
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to approve pending insurance information and practice times that do not interfere with the high school athletes, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you.
And this is the high school baseball field, just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Item G, the facility use request for the Phoenix Martial Arts. I have a motion and a second to approve the use request for Phoenix Martial Arts training.
I have a question because it'll tie to the same thing that is this the county doing this, or is this he's one of our
Is our
detectives?
detective?
So Officer Mosley is, him and his wife are heading it up because they're
It's
part
not
of this
county.
Phoenix. And they do have insurance and waivers that all the students sign or kids sign. It's open to anybody. no
So you
matter
did
what
verify
district.
this?
But they are putting it on because they're part of it. So he came to me to ask for.
As long as they have insurance and doesn't affect our current sporting events or whatever sporting events, my motion would be similar approval of that. Proof of insurance.
they must because they fall under D as for profit.
Mhm.
So
And I'll second
And
it.
this isn't gonna interfere with volleyball.
That's what I just said. My
Okay.
motion is to
Okay.
approve it pending proof of insurance, and it doesn't affect with our sports like I did for the 13U. And that you seconded that,
I
right?
seconded it.
Yep, John.
So it'd be the same motion as the 13U baseball.
Yeah.
Just get proof of insurance so that we're good, and that it doesn't affect our youth sports.
Okay, so got a motion and a second to approve pending the insurance and not interfering with our youth sports already going on in the building.
And that was Michael and John, right? First.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
and also just so we're good on this in the future is I'm gonna have a place because Deborah checks on these where she has a little sign off proof of insurance confirmed.
Mhm.
That way you'll know it when it comes through.
Yeah, and like a question that, others are talking about this stuff. The season of whatever these sports may be, or this martial arts may go a calendar year, may go whatever. We just need to not just at the beginning of the season, they have insurance. We want to make sure that September to December,
through
they have it through the whole time. Because it would really be bad for us as a school if some child or somebody or parent got injured in one of these things and all of a sudden we're getting sued for it. And we didn't know about it. We thought they had insurance, but they let it lapse. So that's all.
Okay, all right. And motion and second discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Field trip requests, item H.
These are,
Do I have a motion and a second to approve the field trip request of Bronco Elementary for Woods on Wheels on 8/27, Lincoln Elementary for Woods on Wheels 8/27, the FFA students for laser tag on September 17th, FFA students for roller skating and Rensselaer on 9/24/25, fourth graders at Lincoln for the Grand Kankakee Marsh on 10/2, the kindergarten students at Lincoln for the County Line Orchard and Hobart on 10/3, and Lake Village Elementary fifth grade students for Feast of the Hunter's Moon in West Lafayette on 10/10. Your motion, thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you, John. Is there any discussion on the field trips?
I have a question, and we discussed it at our last meeting about field trips. I think this is like one of the first ones this year since the school started. I think we talked about this last school year. Are these affecting our bus routes? And do we have, 'cause remember we were talking about if there's going to affect, like if they're going to Great America, we're going to say charter bus or whatever, instead of us grabbing a bus and doing it.
We had a conversation that school bus routes are the most important thing. So we will run the school bus routes, and if they can't make it back, then
They're walking?
no, they need to charge more.
Well, if you look, most of these are
They're local.
8:45 to 1:45.
I just want to make sure.
Or after school for 5:30 to 9. I mean, they're within the parameters.
I mean, my biggest thing is that, and I know Dave's raising his hand in just a second, but for Mike, for us, for the bus drivers, these teachers putting these field trips together, it's the coordination to make sure that we can still pick up our kids, which is most important, drop off our kids, and then our sporting events, which then happen, we got to run those routes. Then you have field trips. I just hopefully his department, everybody is working that out.
One priority. And the other thing, the big conversation we started having, and probably if you haven't heard from me, you'll hear again, is when we use our own people, things aren't free.
Mhm.
That you may not see the cost, but they're not free.
Do we have on this form where we're going to check off like we need a local bus?
They have the bus driver down.
Yeah.
Handicap transportation needed, where's that at?
Yeah, so you got the bus drivers.
Yeah, they've
thing.
got the bus drivers
So
listed.
this
They've
goes
got the
through
time.
you and you see this or you don't see this?
Since March,
Yeah,
until the other day when I went to school.
I did.
I would think,
But I did, and Dave can confirm, we had the conversation that we don't pull a driver, run a field trip if we can't get kids
And I
home.
questioned one of them up there. Their leave time is 8 o'clock in the morning, so buses don't even get to school till 8 o'clock. You gotta feed the kids, put them in a room, do attendance, how can they leave at 8 o'clock? It was already approved.
not by us.
Well, that's 8:45, 8:30.
And there's another one on there that says maybe on a handicapped student. There's no such maybe is, it's either is or isn't.
Mike, is there any way, I mean, if the board agrees with this, is there any way that on these forms that this goes through our building, whoever's in that seat in the future and current,
Absolutely.
they need to sign up?
No, because so again, this is just me finding out stuff as
Right.
it happens. I figure when it says bus driver's name,
That he knew.
someone has talked to Dave and said, oh yeah, check out that.
So if we can start having these go through.
Well, the way that it works is that our school secretaries reach out to the bus drivers but that's how it's been done in the past. So,
And should not-
right.
should be done
No, it's okay. I'm just like, right.
Yeah.
Like it's usually whoever's taking the trip is the one that, like, I tell you right now, that's Anna's handwriting for Chet for Lake Village. Like, so I know she's the one that's lining it
Well,
up.
here's the big question, and I know people are typing it out. We have to pay people. So it's our responsibility as a school board. Teachers can't go pick a bus driver and say, hey, I want you or I want you. We as the board are physically paying these people. It's our job to make sure that we spread the wealth. We also make sure our bus department maintenance or our bus director has an understanding so he can make sure our schedule. If individual teachers are running around picking up people who they want, I completely disagree with that. If we need to make a policy change in that would be the first
I
thing.
don't think it would be a policy. I think it would trickle down into the
Yeah.
procedure, which
I mean-
would go into the handbook, which we are currently working on. So that was something that we can add in there. That again, find a problem, fix the problem. That's your motto. So we found a problem, we're gonna fix it, we're gonna address it, we're gonna have protocol written down in the handbook as far as if you are scheduling a field trip. These are the proper steps that need to be taken. There might be some pushback. There might be some things once we start that procedure that we figure out, oh shoot, this isn't working out the way that we need to do it. We need to make an adjustment, but we'll get there. But I don't, which one was the one that said 8 o'clock?
Yeah, where's the one that
There's
says-
not one in there that
Okay.
The earliest
I
is
have
8:25,
I have 8:45,
but I know the kids get here at
8:30,
quarter after 8.
8:25.
So that's literally a 10-minute turnaround. So that's have the kids.
You received one that said 8 o'clock?
I don't have one that says.
Yeah, Sam's right. No, where do you get all those? Yeah, you're right.
So
That's this time,
Yeah,
right?
all of them. The earliest is at 25
I'm just saying something with principals right now that said, it was I didn't realize that we were independently reaching out to bus drivers.
Yeah.
We reach out to the director of transportation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
through you and then them. and
That's-
it did be-
Historically, that's to my knowledge, that's how it's just been done, but
Didn't we just talk about all that in financial stuff, about historically how they were?
yeah, I know, but it's how it's always been done. So,
No, yeah, that just needs
Tell me about it later.
can we please note though that on our fifth graders field trip, I don't think Mrs. Hines wants to return at 1 a.m. It says 1 a.m. on accident. It's okay.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Which one is that one? Oh, that does say 1 a.m. See that?
Right? Teacher of the year, you guys are getting the real experience. Sleeping in a tent with the cannon.
I will take a motion, so I voted on it.
Yep. Good. Okay.
No
We
problem.
need them too.
$130 return time.
Was that from the fifth grade teacher at Lincoln? Was that already approved? Okay, so that was last meeting.
What was this one?
No, that's, yeah, it's the same trip. They're going, it's
Different teacher?
It's from Lincoln though. And it was already approved. It was on the last one because I made sure, because I noticed yours hadn't come through yet. And I was like, is Lakeville is going too?
So there's two.
Okay. That you've
I
already,
received all year.
okay.
Okay, so we're gonna adjust that and when they come through, Dave will be in on the information.
Sign off
Yeah.
on it. Okay. And Debbie can reach out to him. Great.
Any more discussion?
Mm-hmm.
All right, all those in favor of approving the field trip request, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item I, financial claims and reports.
Make a motion.
Motion and a second to approve the financial claims and reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as submitted.
I will second.
I do.
Any discussion?
For the Apple Finance, Terry or Patty or whoever, the 164 first installment of 4. So what were we paying? I don't remember. Was it 400,000 a year? No.
No, that was over a 4-year period.
Yeah, for 4-year period. So this is just one installment for this year. We will not see this again until next year. And this is a lease type payment. We're not, zero interest, all that nice stuff. Perfect. So this 164 is that. Okay. And then, the Arctic Engineering Company for 44,000 install water heater for the high school. How big? I mean, I was confused by that because is that a mammoth size water heater?
That was the one that was about the time you came in.
So now we're just paying
And
it.
now we're just paying for it, yeah.
That was from, I was like, did we just have one? I thought we had one before is what I'm saying.
That was the one that was
Okay,
going
so
out.
this is us just catching up with previous bills. All right. And we've caught up with all of our outstanding payments of historical. Good. We don't have any debt collectors anymore calling us up, canceling. Okay, good. Thanks. That's it.
Okay, does anybody have anything else want to add or ask? Nope. Okay, all those in favor to approve the financial claims and report, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Item J, the out-of-district transfer request. I have a motion and a second to approve the out-of-district transfer request. We have one transfer to Lincoln, one transfer to Morocco, and 3 transfers out to the high school. Am I allowed to say where they're transferring from?
Yes.
Okay, we have students are coming from KV and Rensselaer, so we have a total of 5 students. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the out of district transfer students?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item 6, personnel report. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the personnel report?
There's some modifications in here, so I'm gonna make a motion to approve the support staff personnel, student cafeteria, special needs bus driver, part-time cook, Morocco, and the resignation of part-time cook and the 3 extracurriculars on the back. And then part of that motion is to table the transfer for K.O. Miller from transport mechanic to assistant director of maintenance for further review.
So you want to approve everything minus the transfer of the mechanic to assistant director of maintenance?
Correct.
That's gonna be tabled.
Correct. That's my motion, is to table that.
Can I add a question?
Yeah.
On the student cafeteria worker, we're only gonna pay him $7.25 an hour? Is that the proper wage, you know? Or is that because he's a student and it's like a part-time deal?
It would be my recommendation that we pay them $16 an hour, just.
Right, well, they got on here
Like,
7.25.
Well, I would ask one of you to make an amendment that they be paid at the minimum wage.
So what does a student cafeteria worker do? Do they come in during?
School helping out in the,
Really?
in the
Do
cafeteria.
they get, like, is it credited or? No. Really? Are they a student of ours? What's the purpose? Is this for them to? Really? Wow. So it's not like when I was in high school, you got to do a couple hours at the end of the day and go out and get a real job somewhere and they counted as credits and.
Staffing the high school, especially the a la carte line. And if you remember, the a la carte line is one of the things that's going to help us be able to provide free meals for everyone. So, but John, I'm glad that was a catch.
Oh, we already said all of our minimum.
When I was there, they would be from the special ed department, part of their skills and they were very awesome.
I would amend my motion to include that all student cafeteria workers will start off at our minimum of $16 an hour.
Watch how full.
How many hours a week do these kids usually get?
1 or 2.
Okay.
Very strict about the number of people you have in the lines and making sure they run. So we're down one person, we have to shut down the a la carte.
Well, that's very interesting. Very nice that we can do that for one of our students.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, well then let's open up that can of worms. So if this is possible as a student cafeteria worker, is it possible to hire other students, say custodial staff for after school hours? Could we also hire them to help out with before and after school care if they're old enough?
They're all yes possibilities.
And same thing with after sporting events, like pick up the trash and stuff like that. That's parking lot.
That kind of stuff.
Builds pride, get paid a little bit. I like that idea.
I mean, because when you think about, there are certain places that you can get a job, but it's very limited in our area, especially when it comes down to if they still need to hitch a ride from mom and dad because they don't have a license yet.
Right,
But
because of the transportation.
they
And it's
can
only
do
gonna be a
that.
couple hours, obviously we want to stay within the regulations of child labor laws and things.
Right,
like that.
right. So that
It
opens
doesn't
up a
affect us with
whole
the
other
benefit
window.
package either, does it?
No.
Oh.
16-year-old insurance.
They'd only be able to have like 15 hours a week if that, because there's certain regulations via the state that they can only stay out so late.
I just want to see somebody get hurt, other than
Right,
who's holding
right,
back.
right. No. Interesting. That opens up a whole new window of opportunities.
It does.
Woohoo.
Great idea.
Yep.
If we table this, is this going to cause a ripple effect in things that need to be done or loss of a employee?
I spoke with the director of maintenance and said until we would backfill in the first place, we were gonna need to keep that person there due to the critical nature of their job until it could be backfilled. So initially, no, there's not really gonna be a change, because if it would have been approved tonight straight through, tomorrow that individual still would have been a mechanic, as we were waiting until we get backfill.
Was there a second to that, my motion? I don't know if anybody seconded it.
I'll second it.
Well, you got to redo it because you changed it from 7.
I amended it, but I'll do a full one from the beginning. My motion is to approve everything except for the student cafeteria and all part-time student employees at $16 an hour. To table the transfer for transportation mechanic to assistant director for Kara Miller, and to approve the other resignation of Christine Anderson from Morocco, and the approval of extracurricular personnel Lori Postman for JV cheer, Brenda Hauser as varsity assistant freshman sophomore football coach. And then I'm going to butcher this name, Cheyenne Cahill for the 5th, 6th grade volleyball Lincoln coach. And that's a motion you will second.
I have a second.
Nice second.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed? You. Number 7, action items. Elementary handbook, item A. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the elementary handbook changes on pages 2, 4, 7, 14, 19, 21, 26, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, 40, and 42. It is date changes, time changes for start of school, as well as breakfast information about free breakfast and lunch, and
Hey, Dave.
change of superintendent.
Can you go out the hallway, Dave? Can you go out? We can hear you. Thank you. Sorry, Tyson.
I'll make a motion.
I will second that. And that's just what it says on here, is just little things.
Correct. That it was just an agreement. We had like a difference in one. Was it here that there was one that was different?
Well,
than
we
the
just took out the S, N, and U because those percentages don't match up neatly to the A through F chart. So, and it doesn't match up with state reporting. So just to be consistent throughout the school corporation, we just nixed the S, N, and U, and we're just doing A through F.
Yeah, it's basically housekeeping.
Okay. So it's just a cleanup. Okay.
And Melissa made the motion. Who seconded?
I did.
Tyson, thank you.
Any no more discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item B, early graduation request for the 25-26 school year. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the early graduation request of a student from the high school?
I make a motion to approve the request for early graduation for the high school students submitted by the principal.
I will second that. Any discussion other than?
Looks great. They're doing good grades. And very excited for them. They can get in the JAG program. That's nice. Very good.
Okay, all those in favor to approve the early graduation request, raise your right hand. Thank you. Item C, sidewalk repair at Lincoln Elementary. I have a motion and a second to approve the sidewalk repair at Lincoln Elementary. I will make a motion.
A second.
Okay, this is
And, they can also do the work right away.
Where are they coming from? The company? I don't see that.
it's
Like Tyson and I were talking.
this guy's local. I
Good.
remember seeing this name. I just can't. It's
For me personally, I'm 1 of 7, and I know I've talked to Tyson about this, and I'm sure the majority of the board would agree with this, is try to keep as much of our proposals, bids, contracts with local vendors as much as possible in our community. Obviously, if they're triple charging us, no, but
Looks like they're in Monticello.
perfect.
okay. So we got a motion and a second.
Yep.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Perfect. Thank you. Item B, settlement agreement. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the settlement agreement?
Make a motion to approve the settlement agreement for the teacher as submitted.
I will second. Razor, would you like to explain what the settlement agreement is about?
To not act upon that resignation, which then materially harmed that teacher who was unable to start. And the teacher went to the Indiana State Teachers Association about this, and ISTA selects a few very select cases each year to pursue and take to the full extent. And ISTA selected this case because it was going to be a slam dunk winner. And we were able, through our attorney, to get with them and reach a settlement, so there would not have been a precedent set across the state that people could just walk out on their contracts.
Now, with what we're talking about here too, does that mean the teachers that are, right now, to be a teacher, you're gonna get paid $45,000 or 44? Isn't that what their salary? Or am I-
This was the teacher back in December that wanted to.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about any teacher right now. What's the base salary that they make?
45,000.
And anybody making below that salary as a teacher would be brought up to the 45,000. Okay.
They were brought up as the first day of school.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. You. Item E, the resolution to sign agreements for alternative
That's all we
services
want.
and private sign agreements for alternative services and private residential school placements. I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution to sign agreements for alternative services and private residential school placements.
Motion to approve.
Seconded.
Okay, Dr. Razor.
Latitude to make a call in a case conference that a student that was going to be placed at TC Harris, let's say, or the Levels program, as long as we have the funding and ability to do that, make that placement.
Okay. I see that Mrs. Dyer and I are also on here. So that would be the three of us would be signing off on that, right? Just kind of. Okay. Okay.
Usually if a student has to be outsourced, that comes through to us anyways to
It's
sign
a
off on it.
substantial
Yeah.
amount of money.
So it's not like he's gonna do it and then be like, oh, hey, I'm never gonna tell you. No, it's gonna come back to us.
You don't want us to vote on it? No, you're good. Okay, I will say all those in favor to approve the resolution to assign the agreement for alternative services and private residential school placements, please raise your right hand. Perfect, thank you. Do I need to make a motion here to go back? Okay,
No, just continue on with the rest of our meeting. And then we will move. Are you talking about the piece of paper that you received?
yeah,
Yeah, no, we're going to continue on with the rest of our meeting and then we will discuss it at the end of action items. We're not going to interrupt our meeting.
so you want to put this as item T?
I'm not even asking to add it as that item. We can discuss it openly again at the end of our action items, but I'm not going to alter something because somebody's throwing a hissy fit right now.
Item F, salary compensation for James Boland. I have motion second to approve the salary compensation for James Boland. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You, okay, Dr. Reeser.
This was an oversight on my part, that when we hired our last speech language pathologist and got rid of the Huddle Up program for that, and we then did a salary adjustment for Cassie Cox and brought in the new speech language pathologist at a rate, it was my intention at the time to also reevaluate Jane's position, which I inadvertently didn't do as part of that. In a discussion with Jane, I found out where she had been placed on the scale, she had never been moved. And although Jane is not in the collective bargaining agreement as an SPLA, she was placed like a teacher and then never moved on the scale over years of experience and stayed in the same spot. So this is adjusting her to where she should be on the schedule as a SPLA, someone with advanced certifications.
So it's putting her where she should have been.
Or where she should have been, yes.
Do we have to pay back pay
Thrilled that she's being put
where she should be at?
And so, again, you should do the right thing regardless.
Mhm.
She doesn't have a CBA like a teacher who was placed incorrectly. So, but she was supposed to be moved along in her role. So moving forward, we're gonna make sure that's memorialized, that she moves along as where she would be placed as a teacher with a small stipend on top of that.
Well, there's four of us, so
Patty, can you please put in the minutes that Michael ended up stepping out before item F? That way, when he does come back in, we'll just say that he joined us again. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
okay, we have motion second to approve the salary compensation for Jane Poland. We've had discussion. Mr. Mark is out, four of us, so let's take a vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. You. Item G, second reading and approval board policy 2221. I do not have these policies in front of me.
I do, but can I go ahead and make a motion to approve item GHIJKLMNOPQ as one fall swoop, because we already did the first reading last meeting. There's been no contact from anybody as far as questioning goes, board or the general public. It's all state mandated anyways. We don't have wiggle room in these policies to adjust it. So
it's all been out there for
2 weeks
2
now.
weeks now. So
Yep.
everybody's had time to read them. Put their thoughts on it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wondered.
Wonderful.
So we don't have to be here for
You
45
said
minutes
9 o'clock,
talking
right?
about mandatory curriculum about sexuality, please.
You did great. I was
I
very
know.
proud of you.
I was a trooper. I did it.
Okay,
But-
so I have a motion and a second to approve items G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, policies 2221, 2410, 2414, 2416, 2461, 5111, 5223, 5600, 5605, 5611, and 5771.
Who was the second on that? Was that you?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael is still not back, so we have four. We will take a vote on that. All those in favor to approve policies G through Q, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Moving on to item R, the Newton County Redevelopment Board.
I don't have anything for that.
I don't either.
So
Oh, yes, that has to deal with, so the county needs a representative from our board. The last time that somebody represented North Newton was when Mr. Haas was here. So it's been a while. But we need to nominate, and we're actually going to nominate Michael
I was
to
gonna say,
be
he's not
that
here, so let's do it.
representative. So he's not in here at the moment, but that's who I'm going to make a motion to represent him
I'll
for the
second
Newton
it.
County Redevelopment Board, and he will sit in on those meetings at the county level for us. And hopefully the purpose of that is to also help bring more funds
yes,
to us.
because there's TIF money
Yes.
that is, and we need representation because
Yes.
that's money that could be going to our school
Yes.
to fund various things.
Yes.
And
Yep.
he had a nice explanation on it, and I wish he was in here to explain it.
But if anybody would like to call him, talk to him, email him, he'll gladly give you a overview of what it is.
And like I said, Mr. Haas has been the last one to do it, and I feel like we've probably missed out on a lot of opportunities
Yes.
over the last, that was what, 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
So, that's great. We need to get on that. Okay.
So my motion is to nominate Michael for that Newton County Redevelopment Board. So that's my motion.
And
Yeah,
then
I'll
John, you
second it, yeah.
seconded that. Okay, so I have a motion and a second to appoint Mr. Mark as the Newton County Redevelopment Board representative for North Newton. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Good. Go. All right. Item S, the update on the athletic handbook. School physicals and awards banquets. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the updates to the athletic handbook?
Make sure it was,
To reiterate that it's going to stay at the school and put into, so for like at the end of the fall season, have it,
sports, winter
Yes.
sports, spring sports,
Yes.
banquets, all together.
yes, and like, so it'll be one thing and then everybody branches out their individual.
I don't know about school physicals, but I know the school physical timeline was the question that I got, and that is mandated by the IHSAA.
Yes, in our handbook, the athletic handbook, it says 365 days, whereas IHSAA, it opens up April.
April 1st, and after, I talked to Sam Zachary about that, and when I even talked to IHSA, they said that it goes until July 31st of the following year, but I do have a question about that, because if that's the case, then legally your school physical is null and void by a healthcare provider after 365 days if you get it done on April 1st.
Repeat that?
So if I get my physical done April 1st this year
Right.
by a healthcare provider, April 2nd of next year, it's no good. So how does, my only question, and I've talked to Sam Zachary about this too,
Okay.
so we're making sure that everybody has all their physicals as soon as they go to hit the floor for practices.
Right.
So, but by law, by a healthcare provider, your physical is no good as of April 2nd next year
Of 26.
of 26. So if you have, let's just say, softball players or baseball players, either one, and they get their physical on April 1st of 2025, can they continue to play softball after April 2nd?
IHSAA, yes. By my understanding.
And I can't find it in any of their, like, any of the wording in there either, but by a healthcare provider, they're not.
So I will attempt to reach out. The IHSAA commissioner and I are former colleagues,
Okay.
and see if I can get a definitive ruling on that.
You see what I'm saying, Sam?
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I mean, that makes perfect
Because
sense.
I'm confused, like if I take my kid in on April 1st, it's good.
Which I
Another
was always told summer conditioning, again,
free for all.
it doesn't make sense, but the day they needed a physical was when technically the new school
Or-
year started.
but they also need a physical in order to come in during the
tryouts.
summer, not just for tryouts, but to do weightlifting, to do anything like that. So they need to have that school physical before they even step foot into the school. So if they do anything in June, July, then they have to have that.
To be the bathroom inspector.
And what I've been told too is they'll count it through, your
Right.
last through the summer, basically.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it does put a lot of families in a lurch if you can only get one physical on your insurance every year. And then they're saying you need to do.
Right.
Do you want us to vote on this, or do we need to get more clarifications?
If you want to vote on the banquets, let's get more clarification on physicals.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make a motion that we're going to approve the banquet information that we had discussed, but we are going to table the school physicals until next meeting where we can get more information as far as clarification on that.
I'll second.
Could you guys clarify the banquet since I missed that? Sorry.
Doing the,
Spring, fall, winter.
Yep.
Mandatory, on premise, same day.
Yep.
Our athletic director will be in charge.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay, so we're adding the awards. The motion is to add the awards banquets. And we're going to table the school physicals until we get direct clarification from the IHSA so that it directly reflects what they have
yes,
into our handbooks.
yes.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, thank you. Or anything else?
I just wanted before we're done, whenever you're at that point, Tyson.
We don't need to add anything else.
No. So the last thing I would like to bring up, going back to that, why I made that motion to table that position, it had nothing to do with the individuals that were trying to request for transfer positions. It had nothing to do with that. This board had previously discussed in other meetings that we may not want to fill that, maintenance assistant director, because we had made moves and payroll increases and changes that we thought were going to accommodate us to not have to fill that position. So we have tasked Mike to work out with our maintenance, and some of us can talk to them to prove to us why we need to have that expenditure. It has zero to do with who's applying or anything. If that person was applying for any other transfer, I would be making a motion to second it because I think he's a great person. This has everything to do with that position. For me personally, why I made that motion, to figure out whether we as a school need to fill that position. Who is filling it is irrelevant. It's whether we need to fill it or not.
Correct. And with us going through and doing handbooks, we are revising job descriptions, getting all of that gathered so it can be collaborated and put all into one place. And when it was brought to us for the transfer of our previous director of maintenance to go to Lake Village, and then our assistant bumped up, it was discussed to reiterate that we might need to eliminate the assistant position. We need to see what the job duties and descriptions actually are of both of the positions and reevaluate it before moving forward. So that we were asking for more information before.
And to put on something like, we have a lot of our janitorial employees, maybe like old days. I was talking to Dave. They used to do the light bulb fixes and things like that. Stuff that we can work together as a team. We want to pay our employees more to do more work, but we don't want to waste putting people in creating a position that may not be necessary. So that's why we're tabling. We'll discuss it and go from there. Thank you.
Yep.